I think 11 or 10, but I have the date with me. Mr. Sharara came here not because he wanted to do the management of the gateway. He came here to be able to recover his money, the $30 million. They sit with the president. They agreed that during this period the guy was here to be able to get back his money. And during that time they signed an agreement with TEL to do the management of the gateway. Okay. The gateway, Mr. Sharara was being surprised. The president was been asking Mr. Sharara to give monthly $500,000 from his profit to help. Mr. Sharara was against this, and we was having problem between me and him and the president. But the president put in pressure. If he didn't do this, they will cancel the agreement of the gateway. So I explained to Mr. Sharara, you have to do this, otherwise both are in problem. At least you start doing this till you'll be able to recover your money, to see where you can get your money back from the government. After a big argument with Mr. Sharara, his financially was not that be able to pay this, but I said you have to do it at least to be able to recover back your money. And the president put pressure on us. The former president threatened us, if this money will not be paid monthly, this contract will be cancelled and they will be kicked out again. So under these circumstances, Mr. Sharara was being forced to do that for the period of almost 2 years, paying every month $500,000. That was being given to me in Lebanon in my account of Euro African account, and I was given the dollars here equivalent at Trust Bank. Okay. After the 20 month was finished, Mr. Sharara was complaining he cannot pay anymore. The president threatened. The only benefit I was getting, that I'm getting the dollar from him after 1 or 2 months, and I was getting the dollars. I'm paying dollars here because foreign exchange was scarce, and price of dollar will start to go up from 28 to 32. So I was taking the dollar from him. I have all the evidence, and I was giving the dollars here. After the 20 months, the president said he don't want the dollars anymore, and he wanted in foreign currency and dollar. And this is where you see Mr. Sharara also was having problem to have the dollar. I have to take overdraft from Trust Bank to be able to give him $1 million. That's for 2 months. And you see the rest of 2.5 million. This was continued till 2000 and I think end of 2013, early 2014. And Mr. Sharara at that time, he said he will not be able to pay any more after the 2.5 million because he has to refurbish, to bring in new switchboard for the international gateway in the Gambia. He spent another 3.5 million and he bought a new switchboard to the international gateway. And after he fixed the new switchboard, the president, at that time, he stopped to pay because he was spending 3.5 million on the switchboard. The president called him and they asked again, he need to give another 5 million for the gateway that as a loan, or for 10 months to be 500, but he needed in advance. Mr. Sharara explained that he cannot pay any more because he spent a lot of money and he invests a lot of money, and he asked me that we should have a meeting with the president to talk about the 30 million date. This has been taking a long time. Anytime they open the subject of the 30 million, the president was open other subject and he delayed, and he said, okay, we'll see, we'll find solution. No solution was being found. So we have a meeting with the president to talk about the loan. Mr. Sharara said now it's finally he cannot take it anymore. He don't have any more money to give more than that. So we went to the office of the president to talk about this. We have meeting 5 minutes with the president. When they opened the subject of the money owed to Mr. Sharara, president asked us to wait on the waiting room because it was a prayer, the afternoon prayer. We wait on that room for nearly 2.5 hours. After that, they sent somebody telling us that the president was busy. He will not be able to see us till the next day. And that the last time he refused to see Mr. Sharara, and he gave us later termination letter for the gateway because they refused to pay the money. And Mr. Sharara at that time, he has his people on the ground, the expertise. They know about this letter at night, that this letter been issued to terminate the contract. The same night was Air Morocco. At night, all the expertise, Mr. Sharara, get them out because he was afraid they will be arrested like the first people, Deutsche Telekom, when he was here at Spectrum. The next day they came to collect these people to hand over this gateway to another different company appointed by the government. They don't find anybody from Mr. Sharara employee. They all left the country that night. They owe me responsible. He said to me, they owe me responsible. They write letter to me to go and attend the meeting at Gamtel to hand over. And I said, I'm not no expert. I don't have nothing to do with Tel. I was just here to guide them. They have money, but I'm not responsible for anything. The president gave me 24 hours. If I don't bring the password of the switches, I will be locked up, me and all my staff, and all my business will be seized. I have to fly to Lebanon to convince Mr. Sharara to give me the password, and he was refusing. I have to ask some older people, his father, other people to interfere. I said, I will lose all my investment. My guys will be in jail. You guys have left the country, but I'm under big pressure and threat. I need the password of this switchboard, otherwise really I'm in serious problem. After 2 days with Mr. Sharara negotiation in Lebanon, he managed to get all the password, pass them on through to Gamcell. And at that time, before these problems happen, I write letter to the president. You have copy on this file, explaining to him all the problem we are facing in the country, from forex problem, from the non-payment of NAWEC. We are subsidizing NAWEC. This is supposed to be government job, not our job. Explaining the difficulty we are passing, a nice letter to him. I got a letter, you have a copy. This letter I never showed to anyone because it was disgrace to us. You have a copy of that letter with you. That day I decided to leave the country. I only get back after 1.5 years, 2 years to Gambia. So if I was having any relation with the ex-president, all this problem I was facing will not be seen today, what I explained. This is little part about telecom. I have another problem I will explain, that when the country was in need and was a crisis of food shortage in the country, 2009, when the petrol price went to $150 and was shortage of food and the rice price went more than 100% in the market, the government was looking to bring buffer stock for security stock for the people during rain season. At that time, Ministry of Finance also was the Minister Balagé. He write letter to Trust Bank. I was managed to secure them 1 vessel of rice from the American company. And this is for government, I just doing a favor. The bank, Trust Bank refused to open the LC because said this is above the bank facility, was about $8 million.
Mr. Bazzi, is this connected to this issue of the accounts? What no. You're now narrating, is it connected to this issue of the monies that were being paid into the account?
The money I was being paid into account, I explained that with the one from Mr. Sharara from Tel. This is another one related. I just want to explain, just 2 minutes and I will be finished. So the only bank was be able to open that.
Hold it.
Sorry.
It's 1 o'clock.
Sorry.
And time for lunch. We will rise. We'll be back at 2:30.
Thanks for rescuing.